Welcome to Tech Tip Tuesday, bite-sized professional learning you can implement right away. Today, we're talking about Word. We are going to be inserting a table into a Word document and then formatting that table. So we're going to start by going to our blank Word document. We're usually on the Home tab, but if I want to insert a table, I can just go right to Insert and click Table. It's going to ask me if I have a small table that I want. I can just hover over the size. I could also choose the dimensions by inserting the table here. I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick 3 by 5 table. Now I can change the design of the table on the tab that says Table Design. I can have a header row. I could have a column. Um, I can change the look of my table based on what's design I want to have. You can see here there are many options. I'm going to stick with what I have already, and then I'm going to show you some things you can do. So in my previous video, I was talking about animal adaptations. And so the first column is animals, and then the second column is the adaptation. And then the third column is how does the adaptation help the animal? And I could leave it simple like this, but I want to have these be bold and maybe a little larger. So I'm going to highlight that whole first row, and then I'm going to go back to Home. This is where I can change the font. So I'm going to choose bold, and then I can click this drop down and change the size of the font, or I can just click this up arrow A and it'll make it a little larger. Now, I want students to have a little more room in the third column than I do in that first column for the animal name. Whoops. See what happened there is I had the first row highlighted, so it only moved the bar in the column width in the first row, and I don't want that. I want all of them to be the same. So I'm going to come to the top and click Undo. Undo is your friend. So make sure you know where that Undo button is. So I'm going to click out of that first row because I want the whole column to move. So I'm going to choose that for my first column, and then I need to adjust this column. I'll want a little more space on adaptations. Um, but not too much because I want the bulk of what they're going to tell me is how does that adaptation help the animal. Now, if I want to look at the layout of my table, I can click on this blue. You see this blue, it's blue table design and layout. That is because it's specifically related to the table itself. So if I want these, the width of these rows to be taller, I can come here. I could change the height. I could change the width of the cells. I can also insert rows above or below. I can insert columns to the left or right of wherever I am. Many different things that I can do here. I want to have a little more space here, and I'm going to pull this bottom row down so that my table is bigger. Now you can see that my rows are not the same height. And I want to change that. I want them all to be the same height. So what I'm going to do is highlight those 3 rows, and I'm going to go to this distribute rows. And what that does is it will automatically make each of those rows the same height. I don't want this top row to change because I don't need that much space for it, but I want students to have plenty of room to write about their animal in each row. And that is how we can adjust the layout of a table. Thanks for coming to Tech Tip Tuesday, where learning is the goal and technology is the tool. Have a fantastic day, everyone. Can't wait to see you next time.